Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Dr. Laura and Amanda Maynard in live from the Avalon Laser Clinic once again.
Yeah.
And we're getting such great response from our laughter that we thought we'd share some more today with you. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've already been laughing about this, so just bear with us. There might be a lot today.
Yeah.
So
today's topic is about sun safety and getting sunburned. Yeah, this is why we decided to do this today.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm not going to show you the rest of the burn. That's all you're going to get to see. Sorry.
It's a PG film.
PG.
Okay. So 3 tips for sun safety. First, you just want to try as best you can to prevent getting burnt in the first place. Tip number 1 is just simply cover up. Light clothing in the summertime is your best protection across the board. So whether that's a light long sleeve shirt or a hat shading your face and such, that's our first tip. And our second tip, Amanda?
Second tip is, even if you have cover up, use an SPF, a good SPF and a sunscreen, because even if you wore the big hat, which you may have seen in one of my other videos, and you have clothes on, which you would have seen in the other videos, then you can still get burnt, and the areas that are exposed can be crispy even on a cloudy day like we had on the weekend. And then you have to use extra measures after you turn bright red.
Yeah.
Bright red.
A hard-learned lesson by Amanda this week.
Yes.
When you are picking out a sunscreen, look for an SPF that is 30 or higher, and also one that is paraben-free. So the deal with parabens is they react with the UVB rays, and it causes skin aging and stuff faster than it otherwise would. So you definitely don't want that, especially if you're putting it on your face. And second, the parabens actually work as endocrine disruptors. They mimic estrogen in the body, and you don't necessarily want to be messing with your hormones over sunscreen.
Yes.
Right.
So she gives you the scientific version. I'm just saying, you don't want to start looking old, right? You don't want to get crinkly and old looking with
because you were doing the right thing and putting on sunscreen with parabens in
it.
Right. We're trying to not look older here.
And what was our extra tip?
Use extra around water. So,
so
boating in particular. I know in Newfoundland we're often out on the water, especially I think the cod fishery is opening soon.
Yes.
Should be fresh fish. Make sure you use extra when you're out on the water because the sun reflects off the water and comes up, so you'll get burnt in the underside areas as well.
Yes.
And
if you're swimming, we don't think about that. We think the water is cooling, and we don't realize that the water is reflecting and magnifying more heat into our skin, so therefore it's really easy to get burnt when you think you're being cooled down. Yes.
And it washes off that awesome SPF protection factor that's paraben-free that you just applied.
Which, get the extra waterproof one without the paraben for if you're by the water. Because same with driving. If, through a window, I'm sure if you've driven... Oh, see, right here.
And any driver knows the left arm gets sunburned and the right arm is fine.
The right arm.
If you had one more arm, you'd look like a Canadian flag. No,
we'd be half of a cooked lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah, half a cooked lobster.
Just dip the claw in. Claw. No, I'm not going in there. What are we talking about? Okay, moving forward, speaking of burnt.
So,
what to do if you do get burnt, because we all do, myself included.
Well, basically because you're going to ignore the advice that we just gave you, and you're going to go out in the sun and get burnt anyway. Some part of you is going to get burnt. Some of you will be really good, but then you'll be like me.
Even when you are really good, sometimes you miss a spot.
Or 2 or 3. Yeah.
So Amanda, tell our viewers exactly what... Tell our viewers exactly what you learned to do after you were sunburned in terms of sunburn first aid.
So I didn't have any aloe, which is usually my go-to treatment for any skin issues, getting burnt. So we looked it up on the internet, and I read that there was apple cider vinegar and coconut oil. Now I happen to have both of those things in my house on the weekend, so it sounds like it would burn, but the apple cider vinegar actually doesn't. It cools down the skin, and it actually took away any pain from the sunburn, because when I, it takes a few hours for you to actually recognize how burnt you are, as Laura was saying, that the skin continues to cook even after you're out of the sun.
Oh, I was saying that before we were live.
Right. Sorry.
We'll talk about it in again.
Talk about, the heat continues. So you don't always notice when you're out in the sun how burnt you are until a few hours later. And that was the case with me. And because I really am not a tanner and I'm quite white, underneath this this burn, then it was pretty dramatic looking by the evening. So I knew it was going to hurt like all get out. Peachy.
Good save.
Breathe. Don't say the word.
Yeah.
And so I used the vinegar. I was a little bit hesitant at first. I'm thinking, vinegar.
How did you apply it? Out of curiosity.
Actually, I just put it on a tissue, damped it, and then I just patted
it on. Like a Kleenex?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
And last night I actually took the whole cap off by accident instead of just the, where you get a little drop.
Yeah.
And the whole thing went in my hand. So then I actually had more on the burn because I was really smart and I went out the second time without enough sunscreen on and burnt over the top of the other burn. So I have now no bra strap, look here, which is good, right? I avoided the bra strap look. However, I then had to redo the burn thing. So the apple cider vinegar took all the pain that that comes with the sunburn out. And then I put once it dries in, you put the coconut oil over the top to keep the skin from
moisturized.
Yeah, moisturized, and it sort of seals it in. So even sleeping, which is normally painful when you have a burn, I didn't have any of that problem. And if you'd seen the burn, you would have thought, yeah, that's going to hurt a lot. And actually, I really had no pain with it, except when I had to wear my bra. That was hard.
The trick that I always use is cold water. So, as I was telling Amanda before we went live, when you come out of the sun, it's just like when you pull a roast or a chicken out of the oven. It keeps cooking a little bit just by the very nature of the fact that it's so hot. So one of the ways to minimize the severity of the burn once you know you've got one is to start applying cold water to draw the heat out of the skin quickly. The easiest way to do that is a cold shower, which I know most people are probably going to fight me on, but it does work really well. And then the second thing you can do is get a towel or a compress of some kind, like something thin, like a tea towel. Get it wet with cold water, wring it out, and then put it on top of wherever the burn is. And once the compress is warmed up to skin temperature or hotter, you can feel it to the touch. Pull it off, get it cold again with fresh cold water, and put it back on. So you keep pulling the heat out as you're putting the compress back on. So that's the other way we do it. Yeah,
try not to use a heavy towel because if it's really burnt, that will hurt when you put it on the burn. So use something thin.
The thin towels key. And one of the things I've done in the past with a really severe burn is I'll do up a couple of towels at the tea towels at the same time if I know it's going to take me a bit longer than half an hour to pull the heat out of it. And put it in the freezer. So it kind of freezes, and when you put it on, it's really cold, and it's so soothing.
Because ice packs will hurt.
Yeah. And they don't form to the skin as well, right? It's not as nice. The peas aren't as nice as a cold towel. Sorry. All right. Last tip is aloe or calendula lotion. So aloe, when you put it on, helps to rehydrate the skin, make sure that it repairs, stimulates the little repair cells. Calendula is the Latin name for marigold, and it is used in cuts, bruises, minor burns, that sort of stuff, and it can be helpful. And both of those lotions will be available at your local natural health aisles or natural health shop.
And try to get something that has, they all say pure, but try to get at least a good aloe content. And I actually have aloe plants at home, and I will snip off a part of the top of the plant and slice it open, and you just use the gel inside of the plant for that.
The natural health stores often have an aloe gel or an aloe juice that is meant to be taken internally and is often ate or drank for helping the GI tract, other things, and that's oftentimes the best to use and has the most active components, even over and above your aloe-based sunscreen after sun, whatever they call it.
I guess these things work for fly bites as well?
Aloe and calendula?
Yeah.
For the healing part, not for the itch.
Damn. Oh, sorry.
She let it slip, guys.
All right, so that's our video for this week. We'll be back next week with more tips. And in the meantime, if you liked the videos that we're doing, please share them with your friends. And if you haven't already, just like our page, because we will be back with more videos and, of course, more laughter. And there's the odd blooper. You know, the blooper, right? So thank you for watching and joining us at Avalon Laser, and we look forward to chatting with you. Please feel free to leave comments. We will be checking throughout the next few days for comments, and we are responsive.
Yeah.
Okay,
awesome.
Bye.
See you later. Don't get burned.
Don't get burnt.
Or do get burned, but not like that. No, stop.
Yeah, no, don't burn.
Don't burn.
Don't burn. Don't do what I did. Bye.